Elephants are icons of wisdom, power, and grace. Majestic giants that once roamed freely across continents. Known for their deep family bonds and playful spirit, they've walked alongside humans for centuries. Once symbols of royalty and revered in battle, elephants have long held a sacred place in human history. But that relationship hasn't always been kind. For generations, they've endured hardship, forced to work, to fight, and to perform. In Thailand, their future now rests with two remarkable women, determined to restore their trust, their dignity, and their right to be wild once more. Before machines reshaped the modern world, elephants were the original heavy lifters of Southeast Asia. Respected as workers and warriors. In ancient Thailand, these giants were led into battle by kings. Towering figures of strength and strategy that struck fear into opposing armies. Like horses in the West, they were the backbone of military power, but far more imposing. And they weren't just feared, they were revered. Once, over 100,000 elephants roamed freely across Thailand. Today, only around 2,500 remain in the wild. In the lush hills of northern Thailand's Chiang Mai province, Sangduan Lek Chilert has devoted her life to rescuing elephants from lives of hardship. What began as a modest refuge has grown into the Elephant Nature Park, a sanctuary for some of Thailand's most vulnerable elephants. Lek's deep bond with these gentle giants allows her to build trust with even the most traumatized individuals, helping them heal without fear or force. Her approach is simple but powerful, rooted in patience and compassion.
In our place, we tame them by love, and we give them a lot of love and let them trust us.
Inspired by Lek's work, a Dutch volunteer named Antoinette van de Water arrived at the park hoping to help. Deeply moved by the plight of these elephants and by Lek's unwavering commitment, Antoinette left her home in the Netherlands and committed herself to the cause. Together with a small team of dedicated handlers, Lek and Antoinette work side by side to give Thailand's elephants a second chance at life. From daily care to fundraising and awareness, Antoinette supports the sanctuary in every way she can. But both women know more needs to be done. Their next mission is to find more elephants in urgent need of rescue and bring them home to the safety of the sanctuary. Along the way, they aim to educate the public, spark compassion, and share these elephant stories with the local communities they meet along the way. Not all domesticated elephants in Thailand live the same life. Their treatment often depends on the character and choices of their owners and handlers. The men who train and ride them, usually for profit. Some elephants still work in rural communities, cared for with a sense of respect. but many are kept in elephant camps around the country, trained to perform and carry the hundreds of thousands of tourists who visit Thailand each year. While a few are treated well, many live in harsh and miserable conditions. The roots of this problem go back decades. Wild elephants were captured and forced to work in logging camps, ironically helping to destroy the very forests they once called home. Logging was banned here in 1989, so today their services are no longer needed. There's little demand for elephant power in the modern world. In bustling cities like Bangkok, some elephants are still made to work long hours, earning modest profits for their handlers while surviving on minimal food and rest. Forced to navigate crowded streets, the elephants risk being struck by cars and often resort to eating rotten scraps from dumpsters. Begging with elephants is illegal in Bangkok, so the handlers hide them under the highway during the day. Here, the elephants stand and wait while their handlers prepare small bags of food to sell. When night falls, the city comes alive and the elephants are led through the city's busiest streets. Begging for money, they work long nights, surrounded by traffic, noise, and flashing lights. It's an overwhelming environment for such sensitive animals. Some are drugged to cope. To change these lives for the better, Lek and Antoinette must find those most in need of rescue. Lek and Antoinette head to the Serene Elephant Festival, an annual event where hundreds of domesticated elephants are brought in from across the country. Over several days, the festival showcases Thailand's rich cultural heritage. Dancers in traditional costumes perform alongside elephants in choreographed parades. An impressive spectacle for visitors, but one that masks a more troubling reality. They spend long hours performing in the heat for the entertainment of crowds and the pride of their owners. As they ask more questions, Lek and Antoinette learn that Doc Nguyen is in the middle of a brutal training process where elephants are broken down and forced to perform. Help has finally arrived. The second elephant they find is much larger and part of the main show. Her name is Sri Nuan, And like so many others, her past is filled with pain. She once worked as a trekking elephant, carrying tourists for hours each day, with barely enough time to eat or rest. Each night, she was chained near a rice paddy. One evening, driven by hunger, she broke free in search of food. The owner of the rice paddy retaliated, firing a slingshot that blinded her in her left eye. Lek and Antoinette have found their elephants. Now, they must secure their freedom. They negotiate with the owners and verify the elephants' papers to ensure every detail is legal and above board. Elephant prices vary based on health, age, and condition. Doc Nguyen's owners want nearly $8,000 for her release. And there's no time to lose. Doc Nguyen is already in training. Historical footage reveals the cruel training methods once used to break young elephants. Some calves began their training as early as 3 years old, restrained for weeks in wooden cages, or tied up while they learned to submit. They were fitted with saddles, harnesses, and permanent leg chains, and taught to obey through pressure and guiding hooks. For many, this was the start of a lifetime of labor or performance. The process was long, punishing, and left lasting scars, both visible and hidden. Elephants are known for their intelligence, sharp memory, and gentle nature. And when Doc Nguyen sees Antoinette, something shifts. There's a flicker of curiosity in her eyes, a tentative connection, as if she senses her life is about to change. For now, Doc Nguyen remains chained near a rice paddy, with wooden sticks placed behind her ears to keep her head restrained. Antoinette can't move her yet, not until all the paperwork is complete and the funds are secured. But time is running out. Doc Nguyen is so frail, so broken by the training process, that without rescue, she may not survive much longer. Finally, after months of preparation, Antoinette secures the paperwork. Doc Nguyen and Sreen Wan are free, and their journey north can begin. Starting from the ancient city of Ayutthaya, just north of Bangkok, Antoinette sets out with her 2 rescued elephants. A 950-kilometer trek north to the Elephant Nature Park in Chiang Mai province. Ahead of them, a new life and a new family are waiting. At the park, Lex's rescued herd has grown into a sprawling extended family, each elephant carrying their own story of survival. At the heart of the herd is May Pum. Now 89 years old, she was the first elephant Lek ever rescued and remains the park's matriarch. May Pum has formed a close family group with two others, Hope and Jokia. Hope, a lively 5-year-old bull, arrived at the sanctuary just a few months old. Jokia, once a logging elephant, carries deeper scars. Blinded in both eyes by a slingshot after not obeying her owner, Jokia relies on May Pum for comfort and guidance, rarely straying far from her side. The trio shares a remarkable bond, though not without its dramas. May Pum's trunk bears the playful marks of young Hope's spirited sparring. Hope came to the park as a sickly orphan, infested with parasites and battling liver disease, the same illness that took his mother's life. Now, full of energy, he often wrestles with his best friend, a 4-year-old called Jungle Boy. Together, they embody the park's greatest success, a second chance at childhood, and a future where elephants can simply be elephants again. On the road, Doc Nguyen and Sri Nguyen are 4 weeks away from their new beginning. Step by step, the team makes steady progress toward the sanctuary. Along the way, Antoinette sees an even greater opportunity, not just to rescue 2 elephants, but to rekindle a nation's respect for these magnificent animals. At every stop, they share the elephants' stories, teaching local communities about the vital role elephants play in Thailand's ecosystems and culture. Antoinette visits Buddhist temples, offering free medical care for villagers' pets, drawing the community to meet the elephants and learn about their plight. In nearby schools, she plants the seeds of hope for the future, inspiring the next generation to see elephants not as commodities, but as treasures worth protecting. Children gather eagerly, helping to care for, feed, and even paint portraits of their favorite elephants. It's not hard to see the magic elephants inspire, especially in young hearts. But the journey isn't without challenges. Every district they pass through requires new inspections, mountains of paperwork that must be in perfect order. And for elephants unaccustomed to long-distance travel, the stress is real. At one point, Sri Nguyen accidentally injures the much smaller Doc Nguyen. Doc Nguyen panics, forcing the convoy to stop immediately. The team tends to her wound carefully, applying purple antiseptic to prevent infection and giving her time to calm down before they continue north. Every kilometer brings new obstacles, but it also brings them closer to home. At the park, it's not uncommon to see elephants marked with antiseptic stains across their heads, trunks, and bodies. Lek Sanctuary is not just a place to roam free. It's also an elephant hospital, where the injured and the broken are healed. One of the most remarkable survivors is Boon Koom. Born in the 1950s, he spent much of his life working in logging camps and later begging on the streets. As he matured, he grew 2 magnificent tusks until the day everything changed. While chained to a tree, Boon Koom was attacked by poachers. They drugged him, cut off one of his tusks completely, and left the second one severed. The open wounds became badly infected, spreading across his face and body. When Lek and her veterinary team found him, his condition was critical. They gave him a 50% chance of survival. But at the Elephant Nature Park, Boon Koom found safety and a chance to heal. Each week, the handlers trek into the nearby hills known as Elephant Haven, searching for medicinal herbs among the high forest trees. Once they find the right plants, they prepare the remedies by hand. Part of a long tradition of healing elephants with the forest's gifts. Back at the park, they carefully treat Boon Koom's old wound. Even after many years, the infection in his tusk socket lingers. The treatment is painful, but Boon Koom stands patiently, somehow sensing that each visit brings him a little closer to recovery. Today, Boon Koom lives happily at the sanctuary. His remaining tusk has continued to grow, and he's regained his strength, rising to become the park's dominant bull. Not all male Asian elephants grow tusks. For those that do, the tusks begin developing around the age of 4. Tusks never stop growing, and in the wild, they can reach lengths of up to 1.5 meters. But for many captive elephants, their tusks and their freedom have been cut short. Now, for a lucky few, the journey to something better is about to begin. After 4 long weeks on the road, Antoinette and the elephants are home. They finally reach the outskirts of the park, where Lek and the team are waiting. Throughout the journey, the elephants' well-being has been paramount. At every stop, they were bathed, fed, and given medical care to keep them strong for the long road ahead. Then, it's time for introductions. Hope, the rambunctious 5-year-old bull, wastes no time investigating the newcomers. Curious and full of youthful energy, he greets Sri Nuan the traditional way, with a gentle touch of the trunk. Hope's journey hasn't been easy either. He arrived at the park after his mother had died, his young life already shaped by loss. It took months of patient, gentle care from Lek and her team to rebuild his trust.
You're still training Hope.
Yeah, still training Hope every day, you know, and we give him a new word for him to listen. Hope very intelligent and very clever.
Just like people, elephants are shaped by their experiences, and healing takes time. By the end of their first day, Doc Nguyen and Sri Nuan remain side by side. Still cautious, but no longer alone. They're ready to become part of Lek's growing family, where patience, love, and freedom offer the chance to start again. But for elephants who have endured so much, insecurity isn't easily left behind. Sri Nuan's insecurity is rooted in something deeper than fear, a profound grief. When Antoinette rescued her, she learned that Sri Nuan's sadness stemmed from a heartbreaking loss. Her newborn baby had been taken from her.
The baby, we have the copy of the baby register.
For a mother elephant, the bond with her calf is everything. In the wild, young elephants stay close to their mothers for food, protection, and shelter. Even in captivity, mothers instinctively keep their babies close. But all too often, calves are separated, taken for use in tourist shows, zoos, or performances. Determined to reunite mother and daughter, Antoinette began a search that took her all the way to Phuket, a popular tourist destination in southern Thailand. Baby elephants are a major attraction here, trained to entertain the endless tide of visitors. Antoinette followed every lead until she narrowed her search to a trekking company that also featured performing elephants. Yet here, among friends and freedom, there is hope. Lek and Antoinette have succeeded in their mission of bringing Doc Nguyen and Sri Nuan to a place where they are loved, respected, and part of something larger than themselves. Antoinette's work continues, helping Lek to raise the funds needed to maintain and expand the park, ensuring that every elephant here has the space and care they deserve. Feeding the herd is a daily challenge. From the injured to the once forgotten, the sanctuary is a reward hard-earned, a second chance for lives once shaped by hardship. It's said that an elephant will forgive, but never forget. And here, among these resilient giants, forgiveness is blooming. Those who were once broken are learning to heal, thanks to the unwavering dedication of a few brave souls like Lek and Antoinette, determined to give them a future worth fighting for.